In this lecture, we'll be talking about Docker for Windows. We have been talking about Docker in Linux world. Even though we run Docker desktop in Windows operating system, we know that behind the scene, Docker desktop uses what is called as WSL2 or Windows Subsystem for Linux 2 behind the scene, right? That was the engine that we have used all these days with the Docker desktop. But now we're going to talk about Docker for Windows. Now you may ask like, Karthik, what is Docker for Windows is all about? Well, Docker for Windows is an special Docker built by Microsoft, and the core operating system which is running inside those container is Microsoft's operating system. So basically it runs Windows operating system behind the scene instead of a Linux operating system. So all these days we know that while we run a Docker container, it actually runs on a Linux operating system, but this time this is going to run the container on an Windows operating system. So you can find all the different registries or the artifact registry of this Windows container, not from the hub.docker.com that we used before. Rather, we are going to be using this mcr.microsoft.com/en/us. So that's where all the repositories are sitting to download the containers from. So you can see that Windows actually offers 4 container-based images that users can build from, and each base image is different type of Windows or Windows Server operating system that has different on disk footprint and also has a different set of Windows API set. So you can see that basically the Windows container runs the core operating system either using Windows Server Core or Nano Server or Windows itself, like a full Windows API set, or Windows Server itself, which is going to be a full Windows API set as well. So you can use any one of them, and the Nano Server is the most smallest of all of them, which actually runs the smallest footprint of all of them. But we're going to be developing the Windows application or the ASP.NET based application on a Windows container. If you want to run them, then you should be using the Windows Server Core because it supports the .NET Framework applications inbuilt on them. So that's what is this Windows operating system's containers. So let's quickly see how this whole setup can be done in the Docker desktop and how you can do that in this particular Docker desktop that you have already got within your Windows machine. Just for a word of caution, if you're going to be using this Docker desktop on a Linux machine or in a Mac operating system, you can't run the Windows container on those operating systems, because you know that even though Mac as well as the Linux operating system uses the container which runs on Linux operating system, it actually has an core Linux operating system or a Unix operating system in it itself. So you can't use an Windows container on those operating systems because you need to have a host machine as a Windows operating system. So basically the Docker desktop for Windows can only run on Microsoft's Windows operating system, and it can't be used in any other operating system. Well, as that said, I'm just going to go and search for the Docker for Windows in the Google or Bing, and you should see that it is going to bring up this particular operation. So you can see that it says Docker desktop on Windows. Please just don't go with this particular word. I'm just going to say Docker for Windows with Windows containers, and if you just go and search this time, you should see these particular operations are going to come. I have already covered in my YouTube channel for Docker for Windows. If you just go and search in the YouTube for executeautomation Docker for Windows, you should see that understanding Docker for Windows is a new playlist which has got all the details that you need to have to work with the Docker for Windows itself, as you can see over here. So this is something I have covered like 7 years before, but it's gonna give you all the details related to the Windows container, which is going to run on a Windows operating system. So that's what these particular playlist is going to be basically. Well, as that said, I'm just going to show you how to run the first Windows container on your Docker desktop. So they have given some details over here, and you can see that this time while you do a Docker pull command on the CLI, you should be using an mcr.microsoft.com/windows/nanoserver : any of the version. So if you just specify this way, it means it is going to talk to this registry instead of the Docker desktop's default registry, as you know, and then it is going to pull the image for you within your machine. But even before you do that, let's say I'm just going to copy this particular command, and I'm going to go to my Windows terminal over here. And if I just put this and if I hit enter, you will notice that this particular Docker desktop is going to give me an error message, and it says that pulling the Windows server and what's next, and it says that view a summary of the image vulnerabilities and recommendation, and also gives me a message saying that no matching manifest for Linux or AMD 64 in the manifest list entries, which means there is no way that it can find this particular Docker image which can download within your Docker desktop over here. So how do I actually download this particular Docker desktop to run an Microsoft containers or the Windows container within this particular Docker desktop? So in order to do that, you actually need to go to your Docker desktop over here, just right click it, and you see that there is something called a switch to Windows container. So this is an option which is specifically available just on the Windows operating system of Docker desktop. You won't find it in Linux or Mac operating system. So just that's very, very important for you to understand, because you can't run Windows container on those two operating system. You can only run in Windows 10, 11 or 8 operating system like that. So I'm going to go and switch to Windows container. And what's going to happen behind the scene while I do that is it's going to give you a prompt saying that you're about to switch the Windows container. Existing containers will continue to run, but you will not able to manage them until you switch back to Linux containers. So no data will be lost. Otherwise, do you want to continue? So existing containers which is running in my Docker desktop will still continue to run, but just that we can't manage those containers until we switch them back to Linux container. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it right now. And once I switch that, you will notice that it is going to tell me that there is a privilege helper service is not running. So it needs to be run as well in a system privilege mode. Do you want to start the service? And I'm going to hit this start the service. And now it's going to be asking me with the UAC or the user account control to tell me that this particular service needs some privilege to get through. So I'm going to say yes. And it will now restart the Docker desktop behind the scene. As you can see over here, is doing something behind the scene. And now it has already switched to Windows container. And you see that now it's giving me that switch to Linux container, which means I can hop back to Linux container from there. And the UI and everything remains exactly the same. There is no change on that, but just that you won't see the image specific to the Linux container. You remember we had the Nginx container up and running. So that proves the point that the existing images can't be managed using the Docker desktop that we already have. So now if I just go to our command line interface and if I just do a Docker images, you won't see any image that you have already downloaded. But now if I just do a Docker pull of the mcr.microsoft.com, something like that, you will notice that it is going to start pulling the nano server from this particular registry that you can see over here, which is cool, right? Like this is for the first time we are seeing a Windows container running on our Docker desktop. So far we have been using the Linux container, and most of the time, to be honest, I'll tell you, you'll be ending up using only Linux container, not any Windows container. But this is just like an additional info that you need to know, that there is something called as Windows container as well in the world of the containerization stuff. So now that this particular image is downloaded, and now if I just do a Docker images, you should see there is going to be an image coming up over here. And then you can also see the image in the Docker desktop. And if I go and hit this particular image, you should see that there is going to be some details. I mean, there is not a lot of details that you can actually see behind the scene, but this is the container basically. And now if I try to run this particular container, it's going to ask me if I need to expose the names or stuffs behind the scene, or if I want to set any execution path, pretty much exactly like how we did before. But if I wanted to run this, I'm actually going to use this command over here, the docker run -it, to specify if I want to run this in interactive mode. We have not covered this so far, but I'm just going to give you a heads up that this is how you actually do it. And I wanted to run a command line code from this particular container. So what I'm essentially telling that, hey, Docker, just run this particular image as a container that we have got and run the command.exe for me. So this is what this particular command is telling me. So if I'm going to copy this particular command, and if I paste this over here, so docker run -it for interactive mode, which means you get the feedback loop from the container which is running. And I wanted to run the application command.exe as the first thing while the container starts. So when I start running it, you will notice that it is now running the container for me behind the scene. And you see there is a command prompt just came in from the container. So this is not the Windows which I'm running. This is running a Windows version 10, which is not the Windows 11 operating system. And it is a nano server which is running. And if I just do an ls, or sorry, dir, because you can't use ls, this is a Windows operating system, you should see that is going to be a Windows over here. And if I just do a notepad, I don't see any notepad. And if I wanted to go and see if the container is running, if I just go to the container, you see that there is a container running, which is all coming up over here. And you can inspect it as well. And most importantly, you will also notice that we don't see a files tab over here. So you can't really browse through the container behind the scene, and you also don't see the stats because it's a Windows container. So you won't see a lot of information which you used to see from the Linux container in this particular Windows container. So that's a limitation as well that you have got, because it's a proprietary software and proprietary operating system. So you need to have all those information just not available on the Docker desktop yet. So yeah, this is basically running the Windows operating system for me using the Windows container. So I can probably do something like an echo of the hello Windows container, something like that, and just gonna print them. I mean, those are the simple stuff that you can do, and I don't think there is a .NET as well. So .NET list, yeah, it's not available over here. So basically this is a nano server, so it doesn't have the .NET. But if you go download the Windows core server, it's going to have the .NET for you. So I'm going to go and close this particular command line, and you should see that this particular terminal is completely closed, but it is running the container behind the scene for me over here. So this is what is all about the Windows container and how you can use Windows container within your Docker desktop for Windows. Once again, as I told you, this is just an additional information that you need to know, that how you can run a Windows container using Docker desktop. But most of the time you will be ending up using the Linux container. So as that said, I'm going to quickly switch back to Linux container. But even before I do that, I'm going to just delete this particular container forever and the image. So I don't really need them. Let me go and stop the container. And I will switch back to the Linux world, because that's where most of the time we are going to be using our containerizations and stuff. So it looks like the image has been deleted. And now if I'm going to switch back to Linux container, starting our next lecture, we'll once again talk about how we can work with Linux containers in even more details.